and not the least of them lowly Halifax town, as Alan Parry found out.
When the chairman of Halifax town says that if results don't improve, heads will roll, the old cliché takes on a gruesome meaning. This replica of a 16th century guillotine here in the centre of Halifax marks the very last place in England where they carried out the practice of beheading criminals. And it seems cruelly fitting for a football town that's permanently in danger of the chop. The skyline of Halifax provides a reminder of the days when the West Riding of Yorkshire was thriving and prosperous, when the woolen mills gave the town employment and wealth, and the football club was the major source of recreation. But mention Halifax these days, and most people think only of this place, headquarters of the world's biggest building society, whose offer to give a little extra help would surely not extend to a property just down the road from here that could hardly be called desirable. The Shay, home of Halifax town, has seen some great moments in the club's 70-year history, but not many. It's significant that the best remembered photograph taken at the ground has nothing to do with football. In the big freeze of 1963, Halifax turned their ground into an ice rink, charging the public £0.50 a head to skate across the frozen pitch in tune to pop music blaring out from the loudspeakers. But the Shay has also echoed to a different sound, the roaring crowds of the 1950s, when the terraces were often full and Halifax had their biggest ever attendance, nearly 37,000 for an FA Cup tie. 2 decades later, the Shay was packed again for the visit of the great Manchester United in the era of Best, Law and Charlton. The competition, the Wapney Cup. The occasion, a victory for Halifax that will never be forgotten.
Atkins running from the left and getting his head and scoring.
Nearly 10 years later, Halifax played host to the other great Manchester club, City, then managed by Malcolm Allison. And once again, the occasion, a third-round FA Cup tie, produced a result that Halifax fans will talk about for a very long time. Paul Hendry, who's still in the team today, scored the winning goal they'll always remember. But memorable moments like that have been few and far between for loyal supporters like John Hefferman, who's now nearly 70. These days, John helps to maintain the ground that he's been going to as a spectator for 56 years. But there must have been times when even he could take no more of Halifax and failure.
Well, many a time. Nearly every match when they've lost, I've always gone home and said to the wife, oh, I'm not going there no more. But come Saturday or midweek match, I've been there.
And you're not that far, are you, from places like Leeds and Manchester? Were you never tempted to go and watch their big clubs?
I'm not interested in them. If I live in a town, then that is my football club. I wouldn't even go to Wembley to watch any of them. But if Halifax Town got to Wembley, and you never know, I'd be there like a shot. If I had to walk it, I'd be there.
You're obviously Halifax through and through, and not just yourself either, because I know you've given your dog a very special name, haven't you?
Shay, yeah. We found her down here, sort of stray. So I took her home one night, and wife said, well, she's answering to the voice, not the name. She said, you found her at the Shay. She said, why don't you call her Shay? I thought, oh, well, christening her with a name like that, making the poor thing suffer.
The financial problems for clubs like Halifax Town have never been more serious. Only this week, Halifax published their balance sheet for last year, and it made grim reading. As the local newspaper graphically revealed, Halifax are in debt by more than £111,000. Times have been so hard that even the Halifax Social Club was losing money, until the saviour arrived in the shape of town's new chairman, Sam Rourke. Digging deep into his own pocket, Mr. Rourke brightened up the image of the Shay, spending £100,000 on this luxurious new restaurant, part of a desperate bid, as yet unsuccessful, to revive interest in Halifax Town.
There's only so much a man could do as a chairman of a football team. I will say that since becoming chairman of Halifax Town, it has been one of the most demanding jobs I've ever had. And I've said many times that chairmen and directors of 3rd and 4th divisions especially, they should get medals, because it's through the directors and the monies that they guarantee to the bank that these clubs survive. And Halifax is no exception.
There must be an end in sight. There must be a point at which you say, that's enough, I can't put any more money or effort in, the club is going to have to do without me or close down.
Well, at the end of the season, if I don't get the support from the people of Halifax, then I will say, as far as the league football in Halifax is concerned, that's the end of the day.
Well, the facilities down there are very bad. When Sam O'Rourke says he's going to do something, I haven't seen anything exactly what he's done yet.
Well, he's built a new restaurant to the ground.
Oh, that's brilliant, yes, but what about for the people, spectators who've got to stand there?
Oh, I don't like to see any football club close down. No, I don't think that's anything. You're losing part of anything then, like, you know, history of town and lot if you close anything down like that, aren't you?
Well, they want to cheapen gates and get more spectators and then might get a bit more money that way.
So if it was cheaper to get in, you'd start going again, perhaps?
Perhaps, I don't know.
They may die.
Well, I won't give them any flowers.
But Halifax Town's faithful few turned up as usual for today's game against Scunthorpe, who are in an even worse plight, 92nd in the Football League, having lost 7 successive away games. Scunthorpe were guaranteed something today. League rules insist the visiting club receives at least £600 from gate receipts. But as we join the match midway through the first half, with Halifax in the white shorts playing from left to right, Scunthorpe suffered a setback. Still forward, played on towards Ward, and it'll be turned back into the middle, and Graham's shot has gone in. Halifax take the lead. The scorer, Tommy Graham. So 10 minutes to half-time, Scunthorpe a goal to 0 down on the attack again. Here's Oates. Oberg, the target on the far side, and he took it down well, turned it towards Cowling, and that's a fine equalising goal by Chris Cowling. And Billier dispossessed in midfield. Here's Oberg. On his right is Moss. He takes on a beach car. Oh, and it hit the bar, and did it cross the line? And the referee says it did. And that goal proved to be the match winner. Scunthorpe, bottom club in the league, and without an away win all season before today, doomed Halifax to another miserable week. But the home dressing room wasn't the only gloomy place at the Shay. In the office of club secretary Mrs. Carol Bell, the takings from a crowd of 1,396, almost the lowest of the season, didn't take long to count.
The total gate receipts, 1,494.75. We take away Scunthorpe 600, we are left with £894.
And with wages alone costing £4,000 a week, how much longer will it be before the groundsman locks the gates here at the Shay for the very last time?
How the other half lives. And